As I've mentioned before, the Dragon Ball Evolve line is my absolute favorite thing to collect. And for the past couple years, I've been wanting to make a particular custom, but I just couldn't figure out how to do it until recently. One of my absolute favorite transformations in the series is Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, the form Vegeta unlocked in the Tournament of Power, and I could not for the life of me figure out how to translate it into the Evolve line, mainly due to the lack of reference material, but just recently I cracked it and produced the figure you see before you. To complete this custom, I used three separate figures. The first of which is this bootleg Dragon Stars I found on AliExpress that I used for its head due to its increased hair size and darker blue color. While its size makes it a little out of scale with the rest of the Evolve line, it's ultimately a little fitting that a form derived from his pride would make his head bigger. Here it is next to a regular Dragon Stars Super Saiyan Vegeta. And actually, the proportions on this one are honestly a little better, although the articulation is much worse. But it was like $5, so not that bad. The next figure is the Figurize New Spec Vegeta, which donated its arms to give the figure extra muscle mass. The third and final figure that was used is the Dragon Ball Evolve Vegeta from, I believe, Wave 6, and it forms the main body of the custom. Here I have attached the head using Gorilla Mounting Putty in order to just see what it would look like on the body without any alterations, and I have it shown here next to the regular Super Saiyan Blue that they have released in the first wave. There's not a ton of great reference material for the form, so after doing the research, I was initially unsure whether or not the legs bulk up as well, like in the grade 2 form that it's based on. So I mocked it up both ways. On the left, it is without the bulked up legs, and on the right, I've simulated what it would look like if I did try and bulk them up. After much research, I came to the conclusion that the legs do not bulk up, so I simulated it as best I could without doing any damage to the figures, because I did not have all the parts I planned on using at the time. This version suffered from what I'll call gorilla arm syndrome, where the arms were noticeably too long, but I knew when I finally attached them correctly and replaced the hands, it would be a bit shorter and look more natural. After all the necessary parts arrived, I assembled the final version shown here by cutting the Evolve arms at the end of the gloves to give me the hands, and cutting below the elbow joint on the Figurize to shorten the arms and match the gloves to the rest of the armor and boot colors. Pictured here, I have him displayed next to the basic Evolve Vegeta to get a comparison to see how well he fits next to a regular Evolve figure. And here I have it next to that same figure, but with the Super Saiyan Blue head from the first wave swapped on to get a real comparison to show how different the two look, which is what I was going for since the forms do look very similar. I wanted them to be a little more different on my shelf. So here I tried swapping on the regular Evolve Blue head to see what that might look like, in case you're not a fan of using the Dragon Stars head. And here I did the same thing, but using the Super Saiyan head to kind of test what a grade 2 version might look like if I built it the same way. I also decided to try swapping on the Dragon Stars Super Saiyan head to see how that might look, but it's definitely more out of scale because the bootleg one is a bit shrunken. Here I've put it next to all of my Dragon Ball Evolve Vegetas. I really do need to replace that Super Saiyan one because of the damage on the armor. While it's definitely far from perfect, you can get it into a pose or two that looks really good. I'm honestly quite proud of how the lighting came out on this one, even though it was by complete accident. Here I have remade a very similar shot to one that was shown earlier with the mocked up version based on when Vegeta and Kaioken Blue Goku go after Jiren. Probably should have mentioned it earlier, but the Goku you're seeing is just my best approximation of Kaioken Blue Goku with what we have. So it's just the blue head on the Wave 6 base Goku body. I hope you're enjoying these shots I got replicating the fights against Jiren, because I think they came out pretty cool. Moving away from replicating the fight against Jiren, I have some shots inspired by the 7th anniversary campaign of Dragon Ball Legends, which was pretty awesome. Hopefully one day I'll get good enough to be able to Photoshop out these stands. Once again, while he didn't come out perfect, I'm still quite proud of how it did turn out. I've been wanting to do this for so long, and this is by far and away the most time and effort I've ever put into a custom. I really hope you all enjoyed the video. I might make more like it in the future if this does well. I have some other customs that I've done that I would really love to show off. If you enjoyed, please consider liking and subscribing. Maybe share with a friend. That's all for now. I hope you have a good one. See you next time.